Okay, check. Are we on? We are on. Great. Okay, let's get to it. So first of all, I've already called Tammy Duckworth right here, and really, this is another Asian American former veteran who has a lot of similarities to Tulsi. She actually, look, I'm a fan of Tulsi in a lot of ways, but I'm telling you in other ways, Tulsi has definitely sold out her own community, and she definitely is not, as a Korean American, when nuclear bombs were supposedly about to be dropped on Hawaii, she had a chance many times to try to get involved with Korean in the conversation. She has not, and it's quite unfortunate. So here we can see that there are some senators who are checking this out. The defense industry, look, it's not clean on either side, right? Ron Johnson thinks she's a perfect choice. Well, there's different things going on, right? So let's call these people and tell them what's going on here. This is serious. See, this is unfortunate, right? Wasserman, Schultz, and Duckworth offices did not respond to providing evidence to support their claims, questioning Gabbard's loyalty to the United States. You got to have some kind of proof. So I'm not really a big fan of the way that they're going at this, but let's start with McConnell's also extremely troubling, right? Like, I'm not really a fan of Mitch McConnell at all. Tom Tillis. This could also put a big dent between myself and Trump, who I actually do support. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Maybe I should also contact Steve Bannon. I do respect Bannon, right? And I also supported his opposing the H-1B. Okay, so let's start with Mike Rounds. Actually, I may have actually. Okay, so let's take a look at. I already called Duckworth, and you could see that right here on my list of calls. Right, you could see called 312. Right, you could look up that number. That's Tammy Duckworth's number. Now we're gonna call Rounds. I think Rounds is in North Dakota, so he may be that might not be ideal. Okay, Mitch McConnell, Mike Rounds. Let's look at Texas, okay? It might be 9:30 in Texas. This is unfortunate. Oh well. Yeah, this is not really, reading this stuff right here, this is not really something that I really support either. I'm not really crazy about that. It is what it is. Mitch McConnell, I'm not really a fan of him either. Oh well. But this is a matter of national security, and this is a matter that is important. Me and Tulsi could have a conversation. She's been ducking that conversation for a long time. So I'm not really happy about doing this, but it is what it is. Okay. Make a call here.
Thank you for contacting the office of Senator Tom Tillis. If this is during normal business hours, we are assisting other constituents. Please leave your name, phone number, and reason for your call, and someone will reach out as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hello, Tom Tillis. My name's DJL7. Actually, I know that the confirmation hearing for Tulsi Gabbard's coming up, and I was actually a huge Tulsi supporter. But after working with her campaign, I can tell you that I have inside information about troubling things going on with Tulsi and people she was around, such as Nick Brana, who was the People's Party organizer, where hundreds of thousands of dollars were stolen, and sexual abuse caused the departure of half of the appointed board. You can look that up. And Trent Poole, who was her ballot access director for a group called Accelerate 2020, who ended up as RFK's ballot access director, and when he stepped down that's Trent Poole, after he stepped down after punching a woman in the face and choking her, you can look up, it's easy to find. Trent Poole was actually replaced by, once again, the aforementioned corrupt Nick Brana. Tulsi's people intermingled with RFK's campaign. I can show you how war victims like myself, I'm Korean American, were silenced and pushed aside in order to allow third-party leaders such as Jill Stein to profit off our pain. Once again, Nick Brana kept his relationship through events with Tulsi through Rage Against the War Machine and another event called the Independent National Convention. I have receipts that show that Tulsi knew about the corruption and sexual abuse and remained silent, and that media people around Tulsi, such as Jimmy Dore and Kim Iverson, worked repeatedly to prevent accountability from leadership at the expense of Tulsi's own followers. Now, I do appreciate, look, in some ways I think Tulsi, needs to be respected, right? Served our country and all that stuff. That's cool.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5. To discard it, 6.
Okay, a lot of our elected officials don't really want to hear from me with any length, and I get it, right? People will be trauma dumping, I guess you could say sometimes. So, people call their senators when they've been through a traumatic experience. It makes sense, right? Okay, Maine. Let's call Susan Collins. Let's call the DC office. How about that?
Sir, Susan Collins' office. How can I help you?
Hello, yes. My name's Ed Lee, also known as DGL7. I know that there's a vote coming up for Tulsi Gabbard to become the National Intelligence Director, but I was a former Tulsi supporter, and I have inside information about troubling things going on with Tulsi and the people she was around. And I want to leave a message for Susan to give her some information about, like, you could look up a guy named Nick Brana. He was actually the People's Party organizer, where hundreds of thousands of dollars were stolen, and sexual abuse caused the departure of half of the appointed board. You can look this up. Trent Poole, who was Tulsi Gabbard's ballot access director, was actually, you could look this up, you could Google it right now, Trent Poole, Trentpool. He actually punched a woman in the face and choked her. He was first Tulsi's ballot director, then he ended up becoming RFK's ballot director, and allowed third-party leaders such as Jill Stein to profit off her pain. And Nick Brana kept his relationship with Tulsi through events like Rage Against the War Machine, and another event called the Independent National Convention. I have receipts that Tulsi knew about corruption and sexual abuse and remained silent, and that media people around Tulsi worked to cover it up. So I wanted Susan to know about, before she makes her decision. Look, I think Tulsi's cool in some ways, but in other ways there's very disturbing things about her willingness to cover up extremely unethical behavior.
Yeah, I understand. I'm happy to share that with the senator for you.
Okay. Can I pass you my information just in case she wants to contact me? One thing, I do have receipts about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to take that down.
Sure. My phone number is 347-709-3001. My email is djl7@djl7.com. That's DJELF number 7 in both places. And I have interviewed with candidates all over the country, and I also had a AAPI for Trump event. I'm very politically active, so
Great. Thanks so much. I will pass this along.
Thank you so much. God bless.
You're welcome. Take care.
Now look, it's Susan Collins is not going to want to have like enemies with Trump, right? Like he's the big boss. So the fact of the matter is, but there is space for some real reasonable questions about what's going on here, right? Once again, I do appreciate Tulsi in a lot of ways, but we're gonna these questions need to be asked. They want more information. And if they do ask about her, they face a primary challenge. They will be potentially attacked. They did not identify the 8 senators. We're going to keep looking. Also, these people, right, they're going to know who the 8 senators are. So if we keep, going down this particular little rabbit hole, we will find who these people are. So let's find them. It's really sad. I put a lot into Tulsi. But no one's perfect. I hope that Tulsi just gives me a call and we can have real talk about this. But she's been ducking. It's called the DC office. Yep. Once again, I appreciate Trump for. Trump is also involved with some other weird things too. No one's perfect, but Trump does say some certain truths, and he's America's choice.
Thank you for calling the Washington, D.C. office of Senator Lisa Murkowski. Currently, all of our staff are assisting other constituents, or you've reached our office after hours. Please leave a comment for the senator. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, yes, my name's Ed Lee, aka DGL7, and I was a former very strong Tulsi supporter. In some ways I still am, but I have troubling inside information about things going on with Tulsi and the people she was around, such as Nick Brana, who was a People's Party organizer, where hundreds of thousands of dollars were stolen, and sexual abuse caused the departure of half the appointed board. You could look it up. His name is Nickbrana. Sexual assault, right? You look that up and you're going to find the problems. It caused... there's another person who was associated with... who directly worked for Tulsi as the ballot access director. His name was Trent Poole, and he ended up working as RFK's ballot access director. And whereas Tulsi paid him about $375,000 and $7,500,000, RFK ended up paying this guy like over $8 million, which is very strange, right? Trent Poole ended up punching a woman in the face and choking her. You can look that up. That's TRENTPOOL. It's easy to find. And after Trent stepped down, he was replaced by Nick Brana. Once again, Tulsi has had a recurring relationship with Nick Brana through events called Rage Against the War Machine and another event called the Independent National Convention. And I have receipts that Tulsi knew about the corruption and sexual abuse and remained silent. And this is very troubling. And I hope that you could look at some of the information that I have. My phone number is 347-709-3001. And my email is djl7@djl7.com.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3.
Okay. Let's go to James Langford. Susan Collins. Let's call John Cornyn. Okay. unfortunate. We could be working together, right? No, I don't expect anyone to be perfect. But for 3-4 years now, there's been active suppression, blackballing. Okay. It's unfortunate, but oh well. I don't think the other choice is going to be great either, to tell you the truth. I'm not really happy with Mitch McConnell and these kind of things. Kind of
This message is a recording. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, press
For general
pound.
information regarding my office locations and
Hello, yes.
operating hours, please press 1. To leave a comment regarding current issues,
Okay, let's try that again. Didn't seem to work right.
Hello, this is Senator John Cornyn. Thanks for calling my Washington, D.C. office. For general information regarding my office locations and operating hours, please press 1. To leave a comment regarding current issues of interest, please press 2. If you'd like to speak directly with a member of my staff, please press 3. To hear this message again, please press the star key.
Wait while I transfer your call. Sorry,
Option 3, Cornyn.
is not available. You cannot record a message for
Option 3, Cornyn.
this mailbox is full. Hello, Cisco Unity.
Okay.
Hello, you've reached the Houston office of United States Senator John Cornyn. If you would like to leave a comment for the Senator about a legislative issue or current news item, or if you are trying to get in touch with a staff, if you need the Senator's assistance in interacting with a federal department or agency, please press 2. To repeat this message, please press 3. We're sorry we missed your call. If you would like to leave a comment for Senator Cornyn, you may do so after the beep. Please be sure to include your zip code so we may know where in Texas you are calling from. And if you would like to leave a message for a staff member, please also do so after the beep, and be sure to include your name and phone number for our return call. Thank you.
Hello, yes, my name's Ed Lee, aka DJL7, and I also have, the thing is that I know that Tulsi Gabbard's, she's actually supposed to be confirmed for National Intelligence Director, and I have some inside information about troubling things going on with Tulsi and the people she was around, such as Nick Brana, who was the People's Party organizer, who stole hundreds of thousands of dollars and engaged in sexual abuse, which caused the departure of half of his appointed board. You could look up his name, Nickbrana. Trent Poole, who was Tulsi's ballot access director for $375,000, ended up getting another job for RFK, where he was paid over $8 million, where he actually choked a woman and punched her in the face. You can look it up. It's pretty easy to find. And after Trent Poole was replaced, by whom? By Nick Brana, as I mentioned earlier, the guy who stole hundreds of thousands of dollars at the People's Party and engaged in sexual abuse. Tulsi's people intermingled with RFK's campaign and Nick Brana and other third-party leaders several times through events called Rage Against the War Machine, another event called the Independent National Convention. And I have receipts that Tulsi knew about the corruption and sexual abuse and remained silent, and that the media around Tulsi worked together to prevent accountability from leadership at the expense of Tulsi's own followers, including a former combat war veteran named Larry Alger. My phone number is 347-709-3001. My email's dgl7
You have
at
reached the
dgl7.
maximum length for a
Okay.
recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play...
Okay.
Senator Round's office. This is Annalise.
Hey, nice to speak with you. My name's Ed, aka DGL7, and I know that Mike Rounds was mentioned in an article where he was talking about Tulsi Gabbard being approved as a National Intelligence Director. Well, I was actually inside Tulsi. I was a big Tulsi supporter, but I have inside information about troubling things going on with Tulsi and people she was around, such as Nick Brana, who was the People's Party organizer, where hundreds of thousands of dollars were stolen, and sexual abuse caused the departure of half of the appointed board. Trent Poole, Trentpool, who was Tulsi's ballot access director with a group called Accelerate 2020, ended up working as RFK's ballot access director, where he punched a woman in the face and choked her. You can look it up; it's easy to find. Now, Tulsi had recurring work with Trent Poole and also Nick Brana through events such as the Independent National Convention and Rage Against the War Machine. And I have receipts that Tulsi knew about the corruption and sexual abuse going on and remained silent. And she worked to promote these people at the expense of her own followers.
Well, hey, we appreciate you calling in. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York. My phone number is 347-709-3001. My email is djl7 at djelf7.com. I took the longest wrongfully incarcerated men in New York State history to Kamala Harris's office to show her hypocrisy. I also had a AAPI for Trump event with candidates all around the nation. I'm extremely politically active, and I was a big fan of Tulsi. She seemed like really good in a lot of ways. I still like her in some ways, but there's real problems that with her. Her main brand is integrity, but I have things that, once again, I have receipts that show huge problems.
Yeah, well, hey, again, we appreciate you calling, and thank you for letting us know your opinion, and I'll be sure to get that down in our system.
Yeah, I hope that, I heard there's other senators who are questioning, and I hope that they get back to me and get some more information about what's going on before they approve of Tulsi. I'm not saying she's all bad, but she's definitely not all good. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good one, sir.
Thank you. God bless. Well. A historic Asian American candidate. I love Hawaii. I always had planned on moving to Hawaii. I think that's out now. Whatever. Actually, it's interesting. I actually did follow up on to find out what's going on in Hawaii, too. I should actually call people in Hawaii as well. John Fetterman. Interesting. I believe this is the guy from Pennsylvania. I believe. We're going to call Fetterman too. Very interesting. Yep. Okay. We are about to call Fetterman. Let's go. Very important state. Right? This can win presidential elections right here. I got my people in Pennsylvania too. Oh well. I guess I want to go with what's his name? Jackson Hinkle? Okay.
Hello, and thank you for calling the office of Senator John Fetterman. Please listen carefully to the following options so that we can best serve you. If you'd like to comment on a legislative issue or policy concern, please press 1. If you need assistance with a matter involving any federal agency, please press 2. If you'd like to speak with a member of the Senator's staff, please press 3. Thank you for your call today. To speak to a member of the Senator's staff in our D.C. office, please press 1. For the Philadelphia office, please press 2.
Good morning.
Hey,
Senator Fetterman's office. Thank you for holding.
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Yeah. So, I'm actually I actually have been looking at Fetterman for a while. I actually from New York, but I work with a lot of people from Pennsylvania, including the first man freed on DNA evidence in Philly, Pennsylvania history, Vincent Moto, the first black, the son of the first black detective in Philly, Pennsylvania history named Ronald Long, who was wrongfully incarcerated, supported by Jim McGreevey. So I do have quite a few connects in Pennsylvania. Now the thing is that I read that recently Fetterman had a meeting with Tulsi Gabbard, who's trying to be confirmed as a national intelligence director. But the thing is that I was a strong Tulsi supporter, but I have troubling information about how she was working with a guy named Nick Brana, who was the People's Party organizer, where hundreds of thousands of dollars were stolen, and sexual abuse caused the departure of half of the appointed board. You could look, if you type in Nick Brana, Nickbrana, you're going to see that he's and sexual abuse, you're going to see those articles pop up right away. Also, Tulsi had someone on staff for her ballot access director called Trent Poole, who ended up working for RFK's ballot access director, right? And he worked for Tulsi for $375,000, worked for RFK for $8 million. This is all on the FEC website. And while he was working for RFK, he punched a woman in the face and choked her. You can look up TRENTPOOL and see the tie between, right, and you'll find that article right away. The thing is that Tulsi had repeated interactions with Nick Brana and also Trent Poole in events like called Rage Against the War Machine, another event called the Independent National Convention. And she knew about the corruption and sexual abuse and remained silent. And she betrayed her own followers to get close to people who had a larger platform and media presence. And I myself am a victim of war. Like I said, I've worked with historically wrongfully incarcerated people in Pennsylvania. I took the longest wrongfully incarcerated people in New York State history to Kamala Harris' office here to confront the hypocrisy of what's going on. So I'm very politically involved. So I want, before Fetterman makes a decision, I read an article that said he recently had a meeting with Tulsi. I'm so sorry, I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
No, he did meet with Tulsi Gabbard in December, and he's been meeting with a number of the nominees to meet with them one-on-one before they go before committees and all.
I'd like to pass you my information. I've called other senators who've met with Tulsi Gabbard, such as, quite a number of them, also including some of the opponents of hers. And I'm not saying that she's all bad, but she's not all good. I've called Susan Collins, John Cornyn from Texas, and Mike Rounds from South Dakota, and I'm calling John Fetterman now. I hope that he can investigate further. I can leave my contact information. I can also send you guys proof of the things that I'm talking about. My phone number is 347-709-3001. My email is djelf7 at djelf7.com. And I'm a fan of Tulsi in many ways. She's a historic Asian American legislator, but in other ways she's extremely troubling. And I don't think that she's the right choice for peace, because as someone who's a survivor of war, you look at all the anti-war events she's around. There's no war victims. It's only celebrities. It's ridiculous.
And so what did you say your name was again?
My name is Edward Lee. And I usually go by DJL7. I have a website, djl7.com. You can see that we made the voter database free to the public, for people to actually influence local elections, things like that. I have a lot of work. Like I said, I work with Mutio Jamu Sebru, who has a direct tie to Mumiru Jamal. Vincent Moto, he's the first man freed on DNA evidence in Philly, Pennsylvania history. Another guy named Ronald Long, not from South Carolina, but from Pennsylvania, whose quest for exoneration is supported by Governor Jim McGreevey in New Jersey. I have other people that I work with too, outside of in disabilities field as well too. So Pennsylvania is so important as in terms of electoral politics. So New York is pretty close. So I do a lot of work with Pennsylvania. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that before this important decision is made, I hope that Tulsi can answer to some of these questions that she's been ducking before she gets confirmed. These are very serious questions about her integrity and about her loyalty to this country and her own people.
Well, thank you for calling and sharing this information. I've written it down.
Thank you so much. God bless.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, well, that's a healthy start. We're going to start with that. We're going to see when is the confirmation. Let's see. Okay, so they've already started. So, okay. This also blows up RFK to an extent, right? Because of their weird ties together. So go ahead. Keep avoiding talking to me. I'll talk to somebody. right? And I'm not saying that all against Tulsi. A lot of my connections are within her network and former supporters of Tulsi. But this is deadly serious, what I'm talking about here, yeah? My people are, Korean Americans are on, Koreans are on the forefront of nuclear war on 2 continents. And the problems that I face as a Asian American and Korean American, the way that my issues are not, acknowledged or addressed, is this the future for people that have been affected by war, by American, I think America has a lot of great things about it. Right? I love the freedom. I love the freedom of speech. I like that I can do what I'm doing right now. Very powerful. Amazing. Yeah? I love this freedom. I was raised in this culture. I never was in Korea in my whole entire life, not even once. A lot of Koreans won't talk to me or acknowledge me. I'm American. I grew up as a poor American person. Actually, I had times where, I grew up, I myself did not have money. I did not have control of my life. It makes me very sad to do this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this video right here. And the thing is that Tulsi is, we're going to drop this into Tulsi's own locals. I did so much with Tulsi. It might not come up correctly. Let's see. Oh, it does. Wow. Okay. Gatekeepers. Those shills. Yup, okay. Yup. Alright, that's a good ending to the video. The end.